Welcome to Dementia Friendly Prince George's County, Maryland Northern Sector webinar series for caregivers. Today's topic is Healthy Living for Your Brain and Body, presented by Evan Favors, sponsored by Prince George's County Government and the Department of Family Services.
Hi, good evening, everyone. To just introduce myself and to introduce the Alzheimer's Association, my name is Evan Favors. I am a junior nursing major, Spanish minor, and I am currently pursuing my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing at Howard University. This year, I have the pleasure of serving as a Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Intern for the Alzheimer's Association at their National Capital Area chapter. So I'm super excited to be here with you all today to share a little bit about myself and the knowledge that I have as a nursing student, and to also give you a bit of background about the Alzheimer's Association, all of the wonderful things that we do, and to present on healthy living for your brain and body. So we can go ahead and begin today's presentation. So to start off our presentation, we want to begin with kind of setting the stage for all the wonderful things that we're going to discuss within today's presentation. So the learning objectives that we have and the things that we really want you to take away from today's presentation are how to identify certain behaviors that affect both our brains and our bodies. We want you to be able to list strategies for healthy decision-making in the following areas, those being smoking, sleep, mental health, physical activity, balanced nutrition and eating a healthy diet, cognitive engagement, and social engagement. So these objectives will really help to guide us through this presentation and the content that we're going to cover, and they'll also help to ensure that you leave this presentation with an understanding of how to live healthier for both your brain and your body. All right, so again, we're going to give you all a few tips today regarding getting quality sleep, being smoke-free, taking care of your mental health and practicing self-care, getting moving and staying active, eating a healthy and balanced diet, challenging yourself mentally, and also staying connected with your friends and family and your larger community. So all of these are going to provide some tips for you to live healthier for both your brain and your body. So to start off, we're going to talk about getting quality sleep and what that entails. So sleep is incredibly essential for your overall health and well-being, and it helps to paint a clear picture of kind of how your body is impacted by the rest it's getting and how that influences your health overall. So what does the science tells us? Science tells us that sleep impacts our overall health directly. It affects our ability to maintain healthy blood pressure and blood sugar, and it also shows that inadequate sleep can cause problems with memory and thinking. So it's really important that we're making sure that we're getting quality rest each night and that we're reaching the required number of hours per night to make sure that our bodies are able to sustain ourselves throughout our daily lives. All right, so these are some quick tips for getting quality sleep. So it's important that you control the room and the temperature in the room or the amount of light that you prefer. It's important that you're also turning off screens before bedtime. This can really help your mind to recognize that it's time to wind down before sleep. So it helps your mind to kind of transition into preparing your body for a night's rest. You can also talk to your doctor if you're experiencing any frequent sleep problems or anything of the sort. If the tips that you're kind of working to implement within your own personal life aren't working for you, you can go to your doctor's office and they can help to prescribe medicine or even provide more physician assisted tips to help you get better quality sleep. So things like making sure that your room is dark, that you're in a quiet and peaceful environment, that the temperature is not too cold or too hot, and even a cozy mattress or a comfy blanket, and even limiting screens can really help to ensure that you are getting quality sleep each night. And the next topic that we want to discuss in today's presentation is being smoke-free. Smoking has a direct impact on the health of your brain, so it's important that you understand exactly how smoking impacts your health and also the benefits of being smoke-free. So what does the science tell us? Science tells us that studies have found that smoking increases the risk of cognitive decline and may even increase the risk of dementia. So when you do quit smoking, you may reduce your chance of developing cognitive decline back down to the level of non-smokers. So it's really important that we're keeping in mind kind of what our individual habits have the impact that individual habits have on our overall health, and small things like quitting smoking and implementing better and healthier habits day to day can really help to impact our risk of contracting or having dementia or Alzheimer's related diseases at some point within our lives. So smoking harms your body and your brain, and quitting will help you to start our journey towards better health. So here are some tips to being smoke-free. You can find support through quit lines, you can talk with your doctor or another healthcare professional, and even looking for a smoking cessation program or strategy that works best for you are ways that you can implement these different strategies within your lives. It's important that you understand that being smoke-free can help with better circulation, it can help with sharper thinking, and help you to lead a generally longer and more healthy life. These are just some tips to help make that process a little bit easier for you. Given the fact that smoking is an addictive practice, it's important that you're taking the time to take small steps and to also recognize that the journey to be smoke-free is one that won't happen overnight. So looking for cessation programs and talking with your doctor are ways that you can help to alleviate the stress of that daunting task. And next, you want to make sure that you're taking care of your mental health. It's really important that you're prioritizing yourself and taking care of yourself over the course of your weeks and making time for self-care as much as possible. So your mind deserves the same care as the rest of your body, and it's important that you're taking the time to prioritize yourself above all things as well. So it's important that we're paying attention to our stress levels and any symptoms of anxiety or depression or other concerns that may be present within our lives, as these have a direct effect on the health of our brains. And many healthy habits can also contribute to good mental health. And we'll talk about a few of those in the next slide. So whether that's taking a nap, going for a walk, dancing, singing a song, baking a treat, reading a book, or even watching a funny video, it's important that we're taking the time to step away from the hecticness of our busy work schedules, whether you're a student or you're an adult trying to balance taking care of a family and all of your other many responsibilities. It's important that you are taking time to do the things that you love and to make time for those things in the midst of that hectic schedule each week. So whether it's taking just a few minutes to read a few pages of a book, to connect with someone, to go on a walk and reconnect with nature, it's important that you're taking the time to pull yourself away from stressful environments to really enjoy life and to have as much fun as you can. These can all really serve to benefit your overall health of both your brain and your body. And next, we want to talk about getting moving. Physical activity has a direct impact on brain health. So the science tells us that consistent cardiovascular activity will help to reduce the risk of cognitive decline. So physical activity may directly benefit brain cells and reduce other risk factors. And for most people, any increase in movement can have an impact on overall health as well. It's important that we discuss the connection of both the brain and the heart to one another. So while they do operate independently and they both serve their individual functions, the two work in tandem and they work with one another to help to ensure that we are at the best possible health. So they are deeply connected and they rely on each other to function well. So cardiovascular activity has a direct connection to helping the brain to get the nutrients that it needs. So simply put, healthy heart supports a healthy brain. So making sure that we're getting moving and that we're supporting our cardiovascular health really help to ensure that our brains are reaching their optimum health as well. So physical activity, exercising, and all of those things help to benefit our brain cells and help to reduce risk factors for diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia-related disorders. All right, so some tips for getting physically active. You can find things that might already be a part of your day. So whether that's walking around your neighborhood, taking the stairs more often, or even getting off the bus at a stop earlier are ways that you can really work on getting more steps in throughout your day if you may not have the time to make a physical activity a huge part of your day. So using things that may already be a part of your schedule or your regular routine are a great way to get those extra steps in. And also starting small. It's important that you recognize that small amounts of physical activity do add up. So incorporating those smaller tasks like taking the stairs more often or even just walking around your neighborhood if you do have an opportunity to are ways that you can incorporate getting physically active into your regular everyday routine. And also not making that process overly daunting if you can help it. Also just trying something that's fun for you. Asking friends and family members or even neighbors to join you on a walk or any new activity that you've been hoping to try are ways that you can really work to build that into your routine and to also have fun doing it. All right, and next we want to talk about eating healthy, which is one of the most important tips that we can share with you all today. Eating an overall healthy diet can reduce your risk for many diseases, but especially Alzheimer's and dementia. So the science tells us, again, that what's good for the heart is also good for the brain. And nutritious food is yet another way that we can fuel the brain and help to see success in that area. So eating a balanced diet can help to reduce your risk of heart disease, cancer, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, stroke, and diabetes. So while we're here today to talk about the effect of all of these different tips on brain health, it's also important to recognize that eating a balanced diet and taking care of our bodies impacts us in so many different ways. So helps make sure that we're healthy in all areas, whether that is related to cardiovascular health, even limiting our risk of cancer. It's important that we recognize that all of these tips are really going to help us to see health all around, but especially with relation to brain and body. And some examples of what this balanced nutritious diet looks like. We have the DASH diet and the Mediterranean diet, which are the two that we most typically recommend to people interested in taking on kind of a more balanced nutritious diet within their lives. So the DASH diet is an acronym that stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. So this includes fruits and vegetables, nuts, beans, and whole grains, lean meats, fish and poultry, healthier fats, and limited sugar and salt. So all of these different elements are ways that we can kind of work to transition from eating more processed foods to eating more healthier and lean options. So substituting some more processed alternatives for fruits and vegetables and more lean meats are ways that we can generally have a cleaner diet and to see better impact on our health as well. So what are some tips for healthy eating? Using olive oil or another healthy oil instead of butter are great ways that we can kind of work to incorporate those alternatives as we just discussed. So making sure that we are using sodium-free spices if possible, or flavorings instead of things that are heavily salt concentrated, are just ways that we can work to switch out the small things and make sure that we are creating space for healthier alternatives in our day-to-day eating habits. Also focusing on what you can add in, such as fruits and veggies instead of what you can take away. So again, starting small and recognizing that these tips are things that we build slowly over time. Starting small helps you to recognize that these habits can be long-term if you take it bit by bit and aren't focused on kind of making complete and drastic changes in your life. You're more likely to have these habits for longer. And also just building meals around vegetables, beans, and whole grains, and choosing leaner cuts of meats are ways that you can slowly work to incorporate these healthier changes into your diet. All right, and a note about vitamins and supplements, which I think a lot of us associate with eating a healthier diet and making sure that we are the healthiest that we can be. So the World Health Organization concluded in 2019 that vitamins and supplements should not be recommended to reduce the risk of cognitive decline and dementia. And this particular slide kind of highlights the importance of being aware of potential false claims. I think that we see in the media a lot, on social media, and just by word of mouth, kind of false claims that are pushed regarding what's healthy for us and what's not, diets that we should be practicing and using day to day, and things that are supposed to help us that may not serve the purpose that they actually do. So being aware of false claims and using trusted organizations like the World Health Organization, even the Alzheimer's Association, to recognize what diets are most helpful to our health. Practicing things like the DASH diet, Mediterranean diet, are things that have been proven to be beneficial for overall health and specifically for the brain and body. So it's important that we're using those organizations to build our understandings off of, rather than word of mouth or people who may not have the best understanding. And also focusing on balanced nutrition to promote a healthy brain and body. So vitamins and supplements can't be used to substitute healthy eating. So it's important that you have a balanced nutritious diet to kind of get those vitamins and supplements through a natural method. And also talking with a healthcare professional about any concerns you may have of nutritional deficiencies. A lot of us take vitamins and supplements because we think that we're missing something within our diet, or that something isn't inside. So it's important that you're speaking to your healthcare professional about ways that you can supplement that, because these may not be able to reduce the risk of cognitive decline and dementia, and there may be other ways to support nutritional deficiencies if you feel that you have any. And also, it's important to challenge yourself. Challenging your mind can have short and long-term benefits for your brain. So what is cognitive engagement? Cognitive engagement is a term that means keeping our minds active and challenged. So this can be learning new skills, working on a challenging task, or engaging in ongoing learning. So it's important that we're regularly challenging our brains, even if we may not be actively in school or participating in kind of a more structured learning environment. There are plenty of ways that we can work to keep our minds active and to keep ourselves going. So whether that's learning a new language, or playing a new strategy game, whether that be chess or checkers or anything of the sort. It's important that our minds are actively stimulated because that definitely helps to promote our brain health. So stepping outside of your comfort zone can really help to improve your memory, concentration, even problem solving skills, which are all helpful. And helping to prevent us from having Alzheimer's or dementia at later points within our lives. Among brain cells. Cognitive engagement encourages blood flow to the brain, and mentally stimulating activities may possibly maintain or even improve cognition. And engaging in formal education, again, may keep your brain healthy and can provide protection against developing dementia. So again, making sure that within our daily lives, as much as we get busy within our regular routine, it's important that we're taking the time to try new things and to help our brain to learn something new, to be stimulated in different ways. Because even though we may not realize it, these small steps towards challenging ourselves are ways that we can really help to improve our brain health. So some tips that we can challenge ourselves. You can take a class at a local college or community center on a new topic or a new skill. These are ways that you can help to challenge your brain and keep your brain going as you're learning a new concept or learning about a historical fact or anything of the sort, are just ways that your brain can continue to grow and stay strong. Also, trying a new cooking technique or learning a new language are just other ways that your brain can stay stimulated and active. And all of these are contributing factors to great brain health. Even building a piece of furniture, or again, learning how to play a new strategy game like chess, are ways that your brain can be consistently challenged. And it's important that we're making the time to do some of these things as well. And that we understand these don't have to be difficult things. Some of the things that challenge our brain are things that can be fun, like trying a new recipe, or maybe even playing a game with friends and family. And also staying connected. This is one of my favorites to talk about. I think that connecting with others socially does have many health benefits. And I think that it's important that we recognize that the small things that we can implement within our lives, such as even just picking up the phone to call a friend or a family member, or just joining our community through a fun activity, are just ways that we can continue to advocate for our health. And this is a way that I don't think a lot of people consider regularly. So I'm excited to talk about this one. So what does the science tell us? The science tells us that staying socially active can help to support brain health. Social engagement is associated with living longer with fewer disabilities, and those who feel well connected tend to make healthier choices in other areas. So again, staying social is more than just being social and having a coffee or a chat with a friend or a loved one. It's a really powerful tool for your brain health. It helps our brains to thrive on that interaction that we have day to day, helps us to build strong relationships with other people, and that really helps, again, to keep our brain stimulated, similarly to what we talked about when we discussed challenging our brains. That constant social interaction really helps our brain to stay strong. So it's important that we recognize that this is really important too. So some tips for staying connected. You can volunteer for a cause that is really important to you, whether there's something that you've always wanted to participate in or something that you just haven't had the opportunity to explore just yet. There are plenty of ways that you can take advantage of opportunities within your community to connect with others. And I think that volunteering is a great way to do that. Scheduling regular phone calls or video chats to keep in touch with your family members is yet another way that we can stay connected with our community. And that we are making time for people that we love. And these are just additional ways that we can advocate for our brain health as well. So knocking two birds out with one stone and keeping in contact with someone that we love, but also helping to make sure that our brains are healthy. Visiting friends and family, again, is another way. Even better than talking on the phone, it's great to see friends and family in person and to get to interact with them that way. And also just participating in events within your community. Maybe there's something that you've always wanted to participate in, but haven't made the time for over the years. That can be something that you can invest your time into to see great impact on your brain health. All right, so if you've learned anything today, it's that you can live healthy for your brain and body, and that can look like getting quality sleep, as we discussed, making sure that we're not just sleeping at night, but that is good quality sleep, that we are feeling well rested once we wake up because we've done all the things necessary to make sure that when we fall asleep at night, that we're going to stay asleep and get quality sleep at that. Also being smoke-free, recognizing that our daily habits do contribute to our overall health, especially smoking and the associated risks of that. Taking care of your mental health, making sure that we are advocating for self-care and including that at some point within our daily lives, and also getting moving. is really important, making sure that we're staying active. As you can see here, this family riding on this bike, it's important that we're staying active and getting our bodies moving as much as possible, because once again, our heart and our brain health are directly related to one another. Again, eating healthy is super important, and one of the most important things that we discussed today, and making sure that our bodies are supported by the foods that we're eating, and that we have a balanced and nutritious diet that's giving our body all the wonderful things that it needs to thrive and to help us live and do all of the wonderful things that we hope to do. Also challenging ourselves, making sure that our brains are staying in use and staying active, and also just staying connected with our friends and family members are ways that we can continue to live healthy, both for our brain health and our overall health as well.